What's up, family? What's good? What's good? What's good? It is your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, represent Mocha's Cafe, Day Paris, where I'm always serving you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. Want to give a big up to all of my subscribers. Again, I thank each and every one of you. Big up to all of the guys, big up to all the ladies. I thank y'all for still rocking with me, still being supportive of my movement. Again, I appreciate each and every one of you. Those of you who have recently subscribed, again, I welcome you to Mocha's Cafe de Paris family. So again, I just want to give a big ups and a shout out to all of my supporters, all of my subscribers. Again, I thank y'all so much. I appreciate everything that y'all do. So moving further right along, y'all, I knew it was only a matter of time. It was only a matter of time. DMX's fiancée, Desiree Lindstrom, has been denied common law wife status and control of his assets. So she's basically battling with his baby mamas. So this is going to be interesting, y'all. I'm gonna stop sharing the screen for a moment because I'm going to be doing a lot of back and forth. So if y'all haven't heard already, word on the street is DMX's fiancée. I knew it was going to come to this. I did content not too long ago. Initially, when DMX passed, I told everybody it was going to happen. And when I get enough people to come in my live, I'm going to play the video where I told y'all, I already said it was coming. It was only a matter of time. Even though all these baby mamas, they was, comforting each other, through the funeral. Tashira was there hugging his fiance. There was all this love. There was all this togetherness. But I knew he won't be. It was only a matter of time before everybody started coming out the woodworks and started looking, for finances, looking for assets and finances, and who's going to get property and who's going to get ownership of the estate. So as y'all can see, this is why Black women, I cannot stress this more than enough. It never pays to just be a baby mama. I can't stress it more than enough. It don't pay to just be a baby mama. That's why, even though we have all of these female content creators, that are against women who speak on subjects like this, when I get on women about being single moms, when I get on women about, having children from a man that has multiple children, this is the reason why I ride y'all so hard. This is the reason why. Because what's up, my sincere Devin, Common Sense, welcome in the chat room. Everybody who's coming in the chat room, this is why I stress this so hard. To never just opt to be a baby mama. Because look at what you got to go through. Look at what DMX's baby mamas is going to have to go through, y'all. His fiance is being denied common law wife status and control of his assets. What did she think? What made her think she was going to get anything? I keep telling women, just because you own the dick, it does not mean you have ownership to anything else of his but the dick. When are Black women going to put themselves in a position to where you only have ownership of the dick and the child? So all of this, I'm a single mother, I'm strong, hear me roar. Yeah, y'all say all of that until situations like this come up. Now you got to go to court and battle it out with 3, 4, 5 other baby mamas. You got to fight with the baby mamas trying to get a share of the portion. Everybody, this is the thing about it. When you have a child from a man that has multiple children, your child is going to always get a small percentage of what is owed to them. This is what happens, ladies. And it does not matter. Let me tell you something. It doesn't matter if your man is successful. It doesn't matter if he's pookie on the corner slinging rocks. When you're with a man that has multiple children from multiple women, that's the more you're going to have to fight to make sure your child gets some type of benefit of situation. So from my understanding, DMX has 15 children. His last child from his last fiance, notice I said fiance, let's just call it for what it is. His baby mama. Let's not dress the shit up. Now, this is not to disrespect DMX and his talent or his legacy, but Mr. X has left a mess down here. If he had really loved that woman, he would have made sure, if he wasn't going to marry her, he would have at least made sure he wrote out a will that everything would go to her. That's the least he could have did. And this is why I tell women, don't mess with married men. Do not deal with married men. Stop dealing with married niggas. And don't be dealing with men who got multiple children from multiple women. Or else you're going to be in court having a battle. Don't wait for a big wedding. Get it done at the courthouse. Exactly. This is a situation a lot of women, especially us black women, we put ourselves in this position all of the time. And see, and a lot of them are still doing it. Look at all the women that are getting pregnant from Nick Cannon. It's still going, guess what? A lot of them still not going to learn. Look how many women is getting knocked up from Nick Cannon, and none of them ain't his wife. What you think is going to happen? And I'm not speaking death on him. I'm not trying to mark him or curse him, but Nick has a medical condition. God forbid something happens to him. He has lupus. God forbid something happens to him. And nothing may never happen. And I pray nothing never happens. But let's face it, all of us are going to die someday. Every last one of us. You don't get to pick and choose when you're going to go, how you're going to go. But let's just be frank. All of us are going somewhere. I think also Nick is doing this also to spite Mariah, because I think Mariah felt like she had Nick Cannon by the balls by being the only mother of his children. And you have a lot of women who are very malicious like that. You have a lot of women who think because they're the only baby mama, that gives them an advantage that other women don't get. So, I don't know if he's having multiple children to spite Mariah. I don't know what his reasons are, but I know this much. The main thing is, as a woman, when you decide to choose the father of your child and you choose a man that already has multiple children for multiple women, she's going to get everything. Now, well, what's going to happen is, with that, they was, well, that's kind of, you may have a point, my sincere. I have to look into that because I know they're divorced. So the fact that they are divorced, I don't think she's going to have, and I know her kids are going to benefit, but I don't think Mariah's going to get anything because they're divorced. They're legally divorced. The problem with DMX is that this woman was still in a relationship with him. They was together. But the problem is DMX didn't make sure his fiance was straight, knowing he had all of these kids. On the outside, X should have made sure he at least did a will. Because now what's going on is all of the kids are trying to become administrator of his estate. DMX's oldest son. Let me just go ahead and read the story and let y'all know what's going on. My mom can draw his SSI military. Okay, now I think it's different. No, that's only if they're still married, my sister, but they're divorced. Now, you have a lot of women, believe it or not, You have a lot of women that have been separated from their husbands for 30, 40 something years. They will not get a divorce. That man been moved on and got himself another woman. But the sad part is, because he didn't officially divorce his wife, if he died today, the wife is going to get everything. If you have not officially divorced a man, if y'all divorce is not finalized, meaning he ain't do no paperwork on the divorce, he just packed his shit up and moved out and moved on with his life. If it's not on paper, it don't count. And see, the laws have changed. So, but you know what, my sis here, you could be right, but I think it depends on the state too. Every state is different. Every state is different, y'all. But I'm gonna read the article so we can pinpoint exactly what's going on, because it is different factors. It depends on the state, because every state statute is different when it comes to divorce. Like what DMX wife, she tried to get what was called common law wife status, and she got denied of that. Now, I know the state of South Carolina, they do recognize common law. In the state of South Carolina, if you've been staying with a man for 6 months or more, you get your mail there, you live there, you got to keep his house, especially if you have a child from him. South Carolina does recognize common law. But apparently, DMX's fiance got denied of that. So Texas, okay. So it may be different. So I can't say I can't say if you're wrong or right, because every state is different. But I do know some women who are divorced and are still receiving benefits from the husband. So it depends on the state, and it depends on what type of law you was under during the divorce. See, divorce back then, the statute for divorce back then is different from today. It's different from today. Like I know Nick Cannon Mariah Carey would not be able to get nothing off of Nick Cannon. They are divorced. Only thing she will get is child support. And also, Mariah Carey got way more money than Nick Cannon too. So that's another thing. Yeah. But you know what, my sincere, Texas has always been off the chain. Even they damn criminal laws. They do death penalty and everything down there. I don't want no issues with goddamn Texas. I wouldn't even go to Texas to damn visit, because Texas is one of the doggone strictest states. Oh, Lord. I don't even want to ride through Texas. But it's different factors. So sometimes we got to be careful with comparing, one couple to another couple, because, like I said, Mariah Carey had more money than Nick. So Nick wasn't going to hardly, have to give her nothing anyway. But let's talk about the situation, y'all, because, again, yeah, it is a hot ass mess up, my sister, but it's like that. That's why I tell women, don't mess with married men, and don't mess with men who have multiple children for multiple women, because you ain't going to get shit when something like this happens. That's what I'm saying. And Devin, you ain't never lied. I'm so tired of black people going to Texas. I'm like, Texas is one of the most racist states that will burn you to crisp if you do anything wrong in Texas. But this was going on, y'all. Let's get into this thing with DMX fiance, Desiree. Okay, so the battle for control of DMX's estate rages on. I want to take y'all down memory lane when I told y'all this shit was going to happen. Before I go into this story, I'm going to play one of my old videos where I already told y'all this was coming. I told you, yeah, DMX, baby mama, DMX, ex-wife, all of them was grieving, but I said eventually the grieve was going to go to greed. The grieve was going to go to greed. So I'm going to play one of my old videos, y'all, because I told y'all this shit was going to happen. And I'm going to play it, because I want y'all to hear. I told y'all this was going to happen. Now, I'm going to play my old video, y'all. Yes, see. Okay, can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Let me see. Can y'all hear me? Okay. See, this is what happens when you're not a big time platform. Well, you're not a big time content creator. I'm still working with this blue Yeti mic, y'all. I haven't reached that level of the game, y'all, where I can get them $200 mics. I ain't up there yet. So y'all got to bear with the struggle, with a struggle content creators, with a struggle platform creators. Now, I'm going to play the video when I told y'all this shit was coming down. I'm going to play it for y'all because I told y'all this was going to happen. Let me get ready to share it. Let me share. Because I told y'all this was going down. It was going down. So I'm going to play a snippet of my video where I told y'all when DMX first initially passed away. I already put it out there what was going to happen. I already told y'all these baby mamas was going to come full force. So I'm going to go ahead and play the video right quick. We're going to go down memory lane. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Testing. Let me know if y'all can still hear. Okay, I'm wondering why. My sound's not playing. Let me see something right quick. Okay, I want to make sure I get my sounds correct because I want y'all to hear this video because I told y'all this was going to happen. It was only a matter of time. Now DMX wife is trying to come in for, well, his fiance. She wants rights, but the problem is she's just a baby mama. And she wants ownership of the estate. And the courts are not letting it go down. So I'm trying to see how I can play this video so y'all can hear. Let me see. There's any estate unless. Okay, there it go. Okay, I think I got my sounds. So, all right. Okay, I'm about to play a snippet of my video. When I told y'all this shit was about to happen. Y'all know black women, when it's a bunch of baby mamas, you know, we ain't gonna have a kumbaya moment for but so long. I told y'all. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and play it. What's up, Queen? What's up to all my sisters in the building? Every time we up to be baby mamas, this is the shit we got to go through. When you not a wife or you have a kid from a man that has multiple children, this is the bullshit you got to go through. Okay, y'all. So I'm gonna play my video. My sound should play this time. It should play because I want y'all to remember when I said this shit. Okay. All right. So, all right, Google. All right, let me see if y'all can hear me. I had a temporary little freeze. I don't know what the hell was going on just now. Let me know if y'all can hear my sounds. I think I'm good, but I had a little temporary freeze. So I'm trying to play the segment when I told y'all after all of these women got done with grieving, the greed was going to set in. Because like I said, apparently DMX's current fiance, who is just a baby mama, I might add. I hate to discredit her. I know she had a lot of love for Earl Simmons, DMX, and I know DMX loved her. They had a really good relationship, but guess what? If it's not on paper, you're not going to get anything. So let me try this again. Hopefully this thing don't freeze up.
He won't be getting anything unless X left or will.
Okay, all right. So, okay, looks like I have it here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play the snippet, y'all. Let me try this one more time. When I gave y'all my epiphany that they were going to end up going to court trying to battle over everything. Okay, so let's try it one more time.
Mamas. See, you have men up here that's encouraging black men to smash as many.
Okay.
And the confusion past all the hell he's gonna leave behind. These baby mamas. See, you have men up here that's encouraging black men to smash as many women as they could smash. But my thing is, when there's multiple children that comes out of it, do you not realize the chaos and the confusion that you're leaving behind? I personally think when DMX's baby mamas get through this grieving, the greed is going to set in. People going to start looking for money now because bills going to have to be paid. Bills going to have to be paid. I don't know what kind of, I don't know with his current fiance, if they had a house together. I'm sure they probably had a house together. They've been together 4 or 5 years. But he was not married to that woman. Ray Janae will get nothing. Yeah, Ray Janae ain't going to get.
Now, y'all just heard. Now, I did this video for those of you who want to look back into this video. I did this video back in, I'm going to tell you when I uploaded it. I uploaded this video April 29th. I already said in this video that once they get through the grieve, here comes the grieve. I'm going to play it back for those of y'all who didn't catch it. Because I want y'all to know I've been called this shit out. I told y'all it was going to happen. So I'm going to play it back again. And again, I'm going to put the link. I'm going to see if I can put the link in the chat. So if y'all want to view this video later, y'all can. I've been called it out. I said them baby mamas, all of them was going to come together. They're going to start bumping heads. They're going to be battling over his estate. So I'm going to play that back again.
Anything because she's an adult. People going to start looking for money now because
play it back.
The chaos and the confusion that you're leaving behind. I personally think when DMX's baby mamas get through this grieving, the greed is going to set in.
I told y'all I called this out, and this is what they're doing. The greed is setting in. Now that the grieving is gone, here come the greed. Now I'm gonna play my video, so I'm gonna let y'all hear the rest of it out.
People gonna start looking for money now because bills gonna have to be paid. Bills gonna have to be paid. I don't know what kind of, I don't know with his current fiance, if they had a house together. I'm sure they probably had a house together. They've been together 4 or 5 years. But he was not married to that woman. Ray Janae will get nothing. Yeah, Ray Janae ain't going to get anything because she's an adult. Absolutely. So DMX's older kids that he had from Tashira, we know they're not going to get anything. unless he was smart and did a will. Unless he did a will. Okay, so we're gonna talk about these 15 kids. He sadly passed at the age of 50. Of course, we all are aware of it.
So, y'all, I'm gonna pump the brakes right there, y'all. I'm gonna pump the brakes right there for a minute. All right. So I already gave y'all proof that I already called this out. I already said, even though everybody's grieving, and DMX had a beautiful funeral, had a beautiful homegoing. They went all out. I love the damn monster truck traveling through the city, riding through the city. I love the Rough Riders. When I say his homegoing was the most touchingest funeral I ever seen in all of my life. He definitely went out like the Rough Rider, like the true G that he is. So I gotta give a big ups to the women who really made sure DMX went out like the true G he is. But let's get into talking about this situation with his fiance, y'all, because she just a baby mama. And she looking to get something, and it's not going to happen. So this is what's going on. And I got this information, y'all, from the Jasmine brand. I have to give credit to where it's due. You know, I got to let y'all know where I got my info from. I don't believe in stealing people, taking people information and not giving them credit for it. But I got it from Jasmine brand. So we're going to do some math on this. So basically, DMX's fiance, Desiree Lindstrom, denied common law wife status and control of his assets. Battle for late rapper's estate continues. All right. Make sure my thing is not caught up. Okay. All right. So basically, the battle for control of DMX's estate is on and popping. According to the page, DMX's fiance, Desiree Lindstrom, recently filed court paperwork to be declared the late rapper's common law wife. For content, a common law marriage is a term used to describe two people who lived as a married couple without being formally married. Common law does exist. I know it exists in Carolina. And this doesn't apply to every state. Just letting all you women know, don't think because you're shacking up with a dude, you automatically can say you are his common law wife, because it depends on the state and there's several factors you got to look into, okay? So, however, despite being engaged since 2019 and the fact that they have a 5-year-old son, the judge denied Desiree Lindstrom's request. This is what happens when you opt to be a baby mama. You sell yourself short and you sell your child short. Basically, you have to look at it like a loaf of bread. Whenever you have a child from a man with multiple children, it's like a loaf of bread. You may get the end of that bread, or you may get the crumbs that's left over in that loaf of bread. That's how you have to consider it. You have to consider that you basically gonna get the end of the loaf. All right, so she was denied. She tried to get that request, but the judge was like, you're not a wife, so I'm not granting you that. Had Desiree Lindstrom been named DMX's common law wife, if she would at least got common law wife privileges, she would have immediately acquired primary control of the late rapper's estate, including future music earnings. Now, this is the interesting part. Even though she was not married to him legally, if she could at least got common law marriage, everything would have went to her. Everything. But because DMX did not leave a will behind, his fiancée and numerous adult-age children are all fighting to be named administrators of the estate. So this is what's going on, y'all. DMX's kids, and you know he has adult kids. His oldest son, I think, being 28 years old. Everybody's battling now. A simple trust or a will can resolve exactly, but clean up the South. This is what women don't think about. Look at all these women that's getting knocked up from Nick Cannon. If Nick Cannon baby mamas had any goddamn sense, they will make sure, if he had any sense, as much as he going around here making these dick deposits, if he had any sense, he'll already put it out there what kid is going to get what. For all of my men out here who are making dick deposits, because you don't want to be married to nobody, but you want to have the privilege of being able to bear numerous children, you better have a will, you better have a trust, something established, because when you're dead and gone, you cannot speak from the grave. Your baby mamas gonna be fighting back and forth over who's going to get what, who's going to get the Bentley, who's going to get the Porsche, who's going to get the mansion, all of this. All because you choose not to have all your children from one woman that can benefit. Now, I would give Kobe Bryant that. At least when Kobe Bryant passed, everything went to one woman, his wife. People can say what they want to say about Vanessa. People can drag her through the mud. But at the end of the day, Kobe Bryant, and it's always, most of the time, no disrespect, it's the broke niggas who be around here creating multiple children. The men who got a lot of money, except for Nick Cannon, better male behavior acting ass. Most men with a lot of money, so quote, high value, which I don't even use that fucking term. High earned men, just because you earn high income, it does not make you of high value. But these high earned income men, most of the time, they're not the ones in the high percent bracket that's going around here having multiple children for multiple women. What's up, Jonathan? Kayla, everybody enter in the chat. Big ups. For all of you who getting here, who want to know what I'm talking about today on the menu, DMX Fiancée was denied common law status. All she is a baby mama. Don't matter how much love her and DMX have for each other. If it's not in black and white, you ain't getting a goddamn thing. Stand to the back of the line and wait on your turn like the rest of the other baby mamas. It's always these broke ass Negroes who's going to have a multiple children, and it's these broke ass broads that's going around letting these broke ass Negroes impregnate them so they can create broke ass kids that will never be provided for. It's always the people that are in poverty who got the most goddamn children. I don't see millionaires going around here having 20 damn kids from 20 different people. It's always people that's broke and in the struggle, could barely make a car payment, who got multiple children. This is the reason why you got a lot of men who got an attitude problem when it comes to paying child support. Most of the time they got an attitude because they don't want to pay for the shit. Really, they can't afford it. Because most men who could afford it, yeah, they may feel some type of way, but they go ahead and pay the shit like, let me go ahead and just get his broad a couple of dollars. Ain't gonna hurt me, break me. I'm still good. But most niggas who get mad about child support is the ones that are broke and don't want to pay the shit, can't afford to pay the shit to begin with. And most of the women who get mad about not getting the child support, you knew the nigga was broke the moment you cocked up and laid up with his broke ass. Exactly, Jonathan. My kid's only going to be from one woman. Now that's what I call high value thinking. We're not doing high value men. We talk about high value knowledge. Learn to put value in your knowledge so you don't become another goddamn statistic. Now, let's get back to this, y'all. I had to put that out there because always broke ass females and broke ass dudes who going around, I don't get enough child support. It's always a broke heifer. I don't get enough child support. And it's always a broke Negro. I don't want to have to pay child support. Broke people don't want to do shit but get stuff for free. And both of y'all are guilty. Black men and black women, both of y'all are guilty for getting y'all broke asses together and producing children you can't goddamn afford. Yeah, I said it. Run and tell somebody. Now, had Desiree Lindstrom, DMX Fiancée, had she been a common law wife, she would have immediately she would have illegally got primary control of his estate and his music earnings. But that didn't happen. Because DMX did not leave a will, his fiance and numerous children are all fighting to be named administrators of the estate. So that's what's going on, y'all. DMX fiance and his kids, they all are fighting, all right, over DMX's property. There is no will from DMX, and that's a big problem. This is a difficult situation because there are a number of people vying to be named administrators. His fiancee Desiree tried to muscle in by asking the court to be named his common law wife, which means she would have taken precedence over his children, but the court refused. The court said, hell no, I don't care how long you've been with him. You're not going to be guardian of his estate. Aside from Desiree, 3 of DMX's sons, Xavier, Tacoma, and Sean Simmons, are vying for the status of administrators. Additionally, 2 of his daughters, this is how messy this is. His other 2 daughters from a whole nother woman, all right, Sasha Simmons and Jada Odin, are hoping to acquire control of the estate. On top of the siblings' estate battle, they seem to have different views of what it's actually worth. Specifically, his sons estimate the estate's value is less than $100 million, while his daughters estimate is lower than $50,000. So really, his family is battling over money that they're really not even certain of. They have no idea really how much DMX is worth, how much assets he really has. Unfortunately, and a lot of these men, they don't think about this when they go around raw dogging all type of women, having multiple children for multiple women. They're not taking into consideration if something happens to them, how their estate, how their dividends, how that stuff is going to be divided. And women, they don't think about that either. You have some women that so happen to be knocked up by a rapper. They so happen to be knocked up by an athlete. They so happen to be knocked up by a music producer. You have women who intentionally go out here and get knocked up by men who they feel like they could secure the bag with, but they don't consider the fact that securing the bag really is through marriage. If that is your intentions, and if that is something you really want to do, if you want to secure the bag, you secure it through marriage, not through your vagina. Because if that's the case, then everybody with a vagina would have access to a man's estates. So with Desiree Lindstrom's request for a posthumous common law marriage being shot down, it seems likely that control of the estate will go to either his sons or his daughters. So they'll be going in court, y'all, June the 15th. The judge is going to review it. Now, what's going on is I had to look up and do my research. Who can be an estate administrator? Because I don't know much about wills. I don't know a whole lot about how this stuff goes. So being that DMX's kids, because you already know DMX fiance, honey, you have been counseled. You're not getting anything but a piece of the pie, which not going to be much because your child is the last. And then he was not married to you at the time when you produced that child. So she really not going to be able to get anything other than whatever the hell DMX probably left in his house. If DMX left some clothes, if DMX left some shoes, and I'm sure he left a lot of his valuables in the house because they were staying together at the time when he passed, that's pretty much all she going to get. A lot of women out here, you know, y'all sitting up here getting knocked up from all type of dudes that y'all think is rich and well off. But unless you really do your research, unless you are with a billionaire or something like that, you 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get a whole lot. It's going to be your word against theirs. Now, Jonathan says DMX died broke. He was living independent on tour. DMX's wife said they lost $40 million from their accountant. And this I know because unfortunately, DMX would have been way more successful than what he ended up not being because of the drugs, because of mismanagement, because of trusting people. Let's face it, a lot of our best rappers have died broke because they put their future in the wrong person's hands. Tupac, Biggie Smalls. Let's face it, a lot of these rappers get robbed when they leave from here. Unless you were smart like Ice Cube and you did movies, did several other things, or, like Kobe Bryant, he had all his kids from one woman. So Vanessa Bryant was fortunate. She wasn't one of those women that she ain't had to go to court and worry about 8, 9 baby mamas coming out the woodworks. If you're going to have children, it's better to have all your children from one woman that you're married to. Have your kids from a man that you're married to. Because look at this damn hood rat shenanigans you're going to have to go through. And then for you men, if you married and you're going out here raw dogging women outside of the marriage, just realize that these baby mamas could come out the woodworks, and when you dead and gone and your wife got the split whatever monies you left here, and that's not fair to her. If you know you done hold and you done did some ill shit in your marriage, go ahead and get a will ready. Put that will out there. Tell a lawyer, hey, God forbid if I pass, I don't want my baby mama coming at my wife sideways, making her miserable. And I'm dead and gone. This is my will. Make sure my wife get my house, my kids, whatever my wife wants to give her. If she wants to give, then that's on her. So we're going to talk about the estate, y'all. I mean, the administrator. What makes, in DMX's case, it's the kids that are battling it out. Because like I said, the fiance, she ain't getting nothing. She don't have a dog in the fight. She don't have a leg to stand on. So we're going to find out who can be an estate administrator, because that's what they're fighting. That's what they're battling over currently at the moment. DMX's kids, his 2 sons from Tashira, his first wife, and his kids on outside the marriage. Also, they're the only ones that's battling right now over his estate. Now I will say this: a lot of times too, if you have had children during the duration of a man being married, in many cases, the state don't recognize outside babies. They don't recognize children that have been conceived during a marriage. So again, this is a state-by-state basis. So this is something a lot of women don't think about. If you get knocked up from a married man, the law automatically going to perceive you as in the wrong. Now, this doesn't mean the man is not wrong and he should have stepped out on his marriage. But just keep in mind, when you get knocked up from a married man, in most cases, those children will not be acknowledged because, again, the adultery, whether y'all want to believe it or not, adultery is a crime. It is. It's a crime in the United States of America to commit adultery. Only thing is we don't enforce it. People don't get locked up for it. People don't go to jail for it. But it is a law that thou shalt not commit adultery. Why do you think when a husband and wife, they go to divorce and that wife can prove that the husband been cheating on her, who you think gonna end up with everything, or vice versa? Or if the husband can prove the wife was cheating, who came out clean, 9 times out of 10, the judge is going to give them more in their favor. So adultery is recognized. Just because people out here hoeing and stepping out on their wife and stepping out on their husband, or let's say you and the husband or you and the wife ain't together, but y'all still legally married and you had a child on that wife while y'all was still married, that still is the same thing because y'all did not legalize or finalize a divorce. So adultery is adultery. So you can do all what you want to do, but it's going to come back to bite you, especially in situations like this when you want to be able to have a claim to stand on and you can't. So what does being appointed as an administrator over an estate means? Okay. Let's talk about that. I know a lot of baby mamas, a lot of them going to get offended by this type of content. Because basically stating it's the truth. You just not going to get nothing. Let me see, just my 4 cents. Easy wife got control of his estate and didn't give his children from other relationships anything. He married her right before he died. Yep. That's how it be. Old Dirty Bastard from Wu-Tang. I remember his wife, what she did was when ODB passed, Old Dirty Bastard from Wu-Tang, when ODB passed, he had other kids outside of the relationship marriage too, right? them baby mamas thought they was going to come in full force and get a piece of the pie, which she didn't have a lot of money, but still. She got smart and got him cremated, so that way they couldn't get his DNA from his corpse. Because I guess even when you dead and gone, they can dig you up from the grave and get DNA from the rest of your remains. So what she did was she got smart and had him cremated, so that way there was no way they could trace the DNA. Now, that's smart if you ask me. That's smart if you ask me. So, you know what I'm saying? Some of these wives, they gonna make sure you don't get shit. Especially, you've been holding around on me, and you think because my husband dead and gone, even though he had no business even bothering you, you're not gonna benefit from my pain. No, ma'am. But that's just me. Okay, so all right, so what does being appointed administrator? So basically, I'm going to break down to y'all what the hell this is. Why they keep this stupid ad keep popping up?
Unlike some places, people want salads.
We don't have salads.
What is this?
Too hard to do.
Okay, I don't know why that loud thing I don't know where that ad is coming from. Oh, okay, I see. But okay, so right now I'm just trying to decide, being that it's DMX's children. Because like I said, his fiance, she done already been told she don't have no power right now. She don't have a dog in the fight. So at this point, we're trying to decide what makes you eligible to be an administrator to be on the deceased estates. So we're going to find that out now. Okay, so it says here, when a deceased individual leaves a will behind, he didn't leave no will behind though. A surrogate's court or probate court reviews and approves the will, then disposes the estate following directions contained in the will. When the will is not present, now this is the part I want us to focus on, because remember, DMX didn't have a will. So being that his kids are trying to fight to become the administrator of his estate, we're going to find out who's most likely going to get DMX's estate. Okay, so that's why I'm reading this, because I want us to see if it's most likely going to be his kids from his first wife, or is the kids on the outside of the marriage going to get it. We're going to find out, y'all. Okay, so when a will is not present, an administrator must be selected to oversee and manage the financial obligations of the deceased. So we know this much, because DMX did not leave a will. By law, it's saying somebody got to be over this shit. Somebody got to claim and run and regulate his estate. So this we know. So somebody got to be in charge, which means the state is going to leave it up to somebody to handle his estate. So they got to make sure all assets and liabilities are properly disposed of or paid. So we know what an administrator is, and that's basically their role. Now, an estate is a legal entity set up to hold the assets, rights, or obligation of a deceased individual. Each estate has one or more appointed to act on its behalf. An administrator I can't read today, y'all. An administrator is an individual appointed to dispose of the assets of the estate, manage any creditors, and pay fees out of the estate for any required attorneys, appraisers, or accountants. So, whichever one of DMX's kids realize being an administrator don't just mean you get to run and take over shit. It don't just mean, okay, if my daddy got a Bentley, I get to take the Bentley. If my daddy had an 8-bedroom mansion, I get to take over the mansion. What it means is this. It's a big responsibility, so sometimes you got to be careful what you're fighting for, because sometimes you get more than what you bargain for. So basically, this means if DMX's son, if the judge grants him and say, okay, we're going to make you the administrator, that not only means he's over his daddy assets, but whatever his daddy owes, if his daddy owes a mortgage, if his daddy owes a lot of child support, he has to make sure that he takes care of his father's financial debt that was not paid for or handled before his death through his assets. So think of the responsibilities that come with this. I hope they know what they're in for. Okay? Because it's more than just taking over shit. You got to take care of a lot of stuff. You feel me? All right. So this is the main question. Who can be an estate administrator? Because as we know, DMX didn't leave a will. We know DMX fiance ain't getting nothing. So we're trying to find out, and I'm trying to find out like y'all, who's going to be able to become the estate administrator? Well, let's find out what the qualifications are, y'all. Statuses exist that dictate who qualifies to act as an administrator. An administrator for an estate is appointed based on a list of family members in a particular order. The first choice is the spouse of the descendant, then the children of the descendant if no spouse exists. And don't forget to hit the like button, y'all. It's free. It's free. I'm not charging y'all anything. So we got that one piece of the puzzle, y'all. He wasn't married. So we know ain't no wife, no spouse, gotta say so. So they say if he wasn't married, which we know he wasn't, the children are next in line. The children of the descendant if no spouse exists. Next in line is the descendant's mother or father. And we know with DMX, that's not the case. I don't think he had a relationship with his mom. I don't know much about his father. I don't think DMX even dealt with his father. Then siblings, if there are no surviving parents, and grandparents if no other family exists. So we know that's not the case. So basically, we most likely know the children are going to be next in line. That's why DMX's kids that was married, that was produced in the marriage, are battling with the other kids that DMX had outside of his marriage. Now that's where it's going to get shaky, y'all. Because he had the kids, his sons that are fighting to become administrators of his estate. DMX had those children through marriage. Okay? DMX's oldest son, his 3 sons, was produced in the marriage with Tashira, his first wife. Now, the other 2 little girls, who mother is fighting for them to become administrators, first of all, y'all came about way after. Matter of fact, the outside children, they was produced in the marriage. So it depends on the state, but I can't really see them being able to benefit, being that they were conceived during a marriage. He already had a family when these children came about. Now, it depends on the state. The state may overlook that and say, okay, yeah, he was married, but at the end of the day, it's not like we giving the mother anything. We got to do what's in the best interest of the children. So that's a sticky situation. To move it further along, let me see. The administrator receives a commission from the estate as a compensation. The amount is derived using a sliding scale based on the state size applied to the percentage. So everything is going to be basically based on what DMX has left, how much assets, property, whatever, royalties from his music, all of that. If more than one family member qualifies, they must decide among themselves who should be appointed. Now, let's say if DMX's 3 sons, let's say they end up being administrators. All right. Let's say if the judge grants for them to be administrators, being that they were conceived in a marriage. Then what's going to happen is those 3 are going to have to decide who's going to be the main administrator out of those 3. See, this thing is going to keep unfolding. The chosen administrator must usually pay a certain amount of money in the form of a bond as one of the conditions of accepting the appointment. So they have several duties. They must find and gather all the estates, assets, and debts through IRS. They must oversee the assets, pay off any debt obligations, reimburse a reasonable amount of money of expenses related to the funeral. What's up, Angela? What else? They will have to take title legally on the state's assets and have a legal responsibility to file all tax returns and pay all the related taxes. So basically, like I said, they're going to get a responsibility. They're not just going to take over. They got to take care of a lot of stuff too. Okay, and like they were saying, if you want to avoid having an administrator take over your stuff, it's better to do a will. So for those of you who got multiple children from more than one individual, learn from DMX, get you a will, get you something in black and white, because all your good love is not going to matter. Now, that's the only issue I see with this right now. The only issue I see is that it's going to be on DMX kids. DMX kids, they're the ones that are battling this out right now. That's going to pretty much it's going to be one of them. I'm not sure, but it's going to be one of them. I'm not sure if it's going to be Tashira, being that she was married, if her kids are going to be the administrators, because she was married to him, even though they end up divorcing, or if it's going to be the outside kids from the outside baby mamas. I don't know if they're the ones they're going to become administrator, because even though through law their mothers was not married to DMX, these are DMX's children. So, like I said, this is like a damn soap opera. This is like a damn a real soap opera. And this is why I said, I'm tired of the black community. The black community wants to keep placing blame on the opposite sex. They want to keep placing blame. You got black men blaming black women for not taking accountability. And you have black women blaming black men for not taking accountability. And really the truth of the matter is, it's only irresponsible black men and black women who refuse to take accountability. Because if you're handling your business and you're doing what you're supposed to do as a grown-ass man, as a grown-ass woman, then guess what? You don't have to take accountability, because you already know you're doing what you're supposed to do. It's the shit that you're not doing. It's when you're not handling your business, when you're not being responsible. That is when you usually have to take accountability. And just the fact alone that you already wasn't responsible, most irresponsible human beings do not like to take accountability. It's been too much bitter black bashing being promoted, that black women won't take responsibility, that black men won't take responsibility. It's irresponsible people who will not take responsibility. What's up, Poetic Kales? I'm over it. I'm over the black woman blaming. I'm tired of the black man blaming. I am so sick of it. That is why I don't listen to a lot of these content creators anymore. I am so sick of black men that want to keep bashing black women for why society is failing. And I'm tired of hearing these bitter sisters from the Bitter Hood Committee want to just blame black men for everything that's going wrong in society, when it boils down to just not handling your goddamn business and not being responsible. Learn to take individual accountability. And that is something that a lot of black men and black women, a lot of us are guilty for not owning our own shit. It's easy for me when I make bad choices in my life. It's easy for me to blame the white man, the black man. It's easy for me to blame the system. It's easy for me to blame things I went through in my childhood. Listen, all of us have a sob story. All of us have a soap opera. All of us have a past. But Your past, you cannot use your past as an excuse. You cannot use society. You cannot use the system as an excuse as to why you keep failing, as to why you can't get ahead. And the Black community, all we are is a blaming community. Every goddamn blog you go to, it's always a Black man degrading Black women, and he ain't making the brothers own up to nothing they do wrong. He ain't preaching to these brothers about keep your penis in your pants, stop going around smashing all these women, find you a good solid Black woman, find you a good woman to spread, to give all your seeds to, so you don't have to be one of these bitter brothers going around here hating all Black women because you mad you got all these excessive child support payments you got to pay. No different from the women. You got women up here trying to make us Black women feel sorry for ourselves. Well, Black men be doing us wrong. Black men don't take care of their kids. Black men don't be leading nothing. Well, that has everything to do with the type of Black man you chose. Don't go around here punishing all Black men because you chose the Dusties. Because at the end of the day, you get to choose who you create a child from. I am just so sick and tired of these Black men and Black women, these Black bashing content creators. That is all they do, is play the victim. A lot of problems, well, let me tell you, it really boils down to a lot of problems when you do things outside the will of God. When you do things, when you do things immorally, this is where all the headaches, this is where all the unnecessary problems, this is how they develop. Because it's this new thought culture where it's all right to have as many children as you want. It's so many content creators that are discouraging people from marriage, that are telling people don't get married. Well, to me, I'm going to tell you the reason why I have a problem with that. Because if you're telling people don't be married, that's saying it's okay to fornicate. That's saying it's okay to sleep with as many people as you want, have as many children, have as many baby mamas and baby daddies. What other options do you want? If you're discouraging people to not marry, then is it acceptable to just be another Nick Cannon? Smash all of these goddamn women up? All of these random women who did not do nothing to earn your income but have your child from you. These women did not support you when before your career blossom. These women played no part other than open their legs and let you skeet in them and give them a child. And you men, y'all give the wrong type of women too much power when you let them conceive and produce a child from you. It's women who are having children from men that are millionaires, that are billionaires, men who are successful. We ain't even got to say millionaire, billionaire. It's too many no good, trifling ass females, but because they look good, they mixed or they exotica. Y'all give these women the key to your future by letting them have a child from you. And half of them didn't even deserve it. It's a lot of women going around here breeding babies from successful men, and they played no part in his success. While Nick Cannon thinking he's winning, he's losing because he's spreading his seed like COVID to all of these different women who have had nothing to do with his success. They have nothing to do with his success other than they had sex with him. That's it. And these are the same women when they turn around and get greedy, or they realize or feel like the money Nick Cannon is giving them once a month for their babies ain't enough, and they keep running back to court, keep asking for an increase or modification. He'll turn around. This will be the same one of them brothers that'll become part of the bitter pill committee. Black bitches ain't shit. Black bitches just want money. Well, all you had your children from was bitches. What you thought? You think you can let these women have your kids and you give them a $50,000 check a month and think they're going to be happy? Females who ain't got nothing, who wasn't with you in a struggle, You can never satisfy a woman who was never with you during the struggle. The only woman you can really please is a woman who's been there with you from the beginning when you ain't had nothing, because she witnessed your struggle. She was with you when you didn't have, and she knew all of what you had to go through to get to where you were. For instance, I was with my husband when he struggled before he got his career. I didn't come in at the end after he done become this successful contractor. I was with him when his business wasn't even up off the ground. When he was begging for work, begging for his name to get out there. And because I know his struggle, I was with him through his struggle. I've learned to value him and appreciate him more because I was with him during his struggle. When you pick up bitches who wasn't with you during your struggle, these are the same bitches that want to turn around and try to take you for everything. Erica Mena is going to do it to Safari. She was not with him when he ain't had shit. She coming in on the end after coming in the middle of his success. When you pick up females who come in the middle of your success, they don't care nothing about draining you. They don't care nothing about trying to take you for everything you got. Guarantee you, if DMX would have just took with Tashira, she would have made sure everything was straight. She would have made sure his legacy didn't go in vain. But when you go around here raw dogging all type of women, and this is no disrespect to him, you put yourself at a disadvantage. And if you're a woman and you're going around letting a dude smash you because you feel like he's successful, you ain't got to worry about your mortgage. You ain't got to worry about your light bill. Yeah, you may not have to worry about the mediocre things, but God forbid if this man was to pass away or die, you may not be left with nothing. Your child may not be left with nothing. So this is something a lot, and you have a lot of these brothers that's going around here promoting their so-called red pill knowledge, which to me in many cases is garbage, because it's a lot of men around here telling other men to just smash women. Just smash women. Don't marry them. Don't invest in them. Just smash women. But having that type of attitude eventually is going to catch up with you in the worst way. And it doesn't matter how many times you wear a condom. It doesn't matter how careful you are. You go around smashing all type of women. Somewhere you're going to get comfortable. Somewhere you're going to slip. You're going to drop the ball. Something's going to go wrong. Something's going to happen. And 9 times out of 10, what I notice, 9 times out of 10, when you have a man that's reckless with his penis, when you have a man that's reckless with his dick, because he has this arrogant alpha attitude that I can smash as many women as I want because I'm the catch, I'm the this, I'm the that, and blah, blah, blah. When he has this attitude, 9 times out of 10, his own cockiness, his own arrogance is eventually going to get the best of him to where he's going to get caught up with a bitch he really not going to want. And I've seen it too many times. I've seen successful men get so cocky, get so arrogant, get so beside themselves, they think they the catch and they can't get got. You got these arrogant so-called high-value man. I'm a high-value man. I can't get got. None of these bras out here can't touch me. None of these bras out here they not going to profit off of me. You mess with the wrong one, and she will. All this being cocky, I'm a ladies' man, I'm the catch of the day, and all this and that. Your own arrogance is going to cause you to get reckless. And guess what? These would be the same men in the chat room that be so glad to hear other black men bash other black women because they know they got involved with trash too. So it's just easier to hate the same group of people all because you got caught up with the wrong bitch. It's easier to hate all black women because you got caught up with the wrong black woman. No different than it's easy to hate all black men because you took a gamble and you got knocked up from a trash, broke ass, better ass dude. So it's easy to let your anger because you made bad decisions make you label a certain group of people to be nothing, because that makes you feel confident about the shitty ass decisions you made. So when I hear a black man going in on black women, or I hear a black woman going in on black men, it's really coming from a bitter, broken place because they are angry about the type of individuals they got involved in. And guess what? What it happens is it becomes a defense mechanism. If I can just learn to hate everybody, if I can just put everybody in the same box, if I can learn to just penalize everybody, that makes me feel comfortable with myself. And that is the biggest problem with the black community. We love to degrade and tear down a group of people. We want everybody to pay for our bad choices. It's like if I got involved with a no good ass black man, it's easy for me to find comfortability and hate in all black, because again, like I stated before, hate makes us feel safe. Long as I can hate something, if you hate something long enough, you'll avoid it. If you hate something long enough, you want nothing to do with it. If you hate something, you'll find every reason to not have to accept it. And I've come to a place where I realize black men and black women, we are comfortable with hating each other because that's what makes us feel safe. It becomes our defense mechanism. If I can hate something, I don't have to accept it and I don't have to value it. As long as I say I hate a black man, as long as I say I hate black women, or black women are trash, black men are garbage, or whatever the case is, as long as I can keep putting something down, the more you degrade something, the more it loses its value. So as long as I can keep degrading something and speaking poorly of something, I'm basically diminishing its value. And that's what it has boiled down to. But I know basically I've been all over the place with this, but at this point, I don't know what's going to become of out of DMX's situation. Like I stated, he, like a lot of black men and black women, we don't think about things like this. When you're having multiple children from multiple partners, you have to realize if something happens to you and you did not create a will, you did not legally take care of a lot of stuff, what tends to happen is you leave your family in chaos. You got your stepkids, your biological kids, you got your ex-wife, you got your current fiance, and this is no shade to DMX, but he left a mess here. He left a mess. And I'm sure if he knew then what was to come, I'm pretty certain he would have took care of it. And I'm hoping that he didn't lose a lot of peace before he transitioned, worrying about his family, because I could only imagine the mental anguish that DMX probably went through on his deathbed. I'm sure he worried about his fiancée. I'm sure he worried about all of his children. I'm sure he worried about that. I'm very certain a lot of things was weighing heavy on his mind before he transitioned over. Because even when you're in your deathbed, you can't speak, you can't talk, but you are conscious and you are able to think. So hopefully he didn't leave here in mental anguish, worrying about what was going to happen next. But I tell you ladies this much, you got to be careful just shacking up, being these dudes' girlfriends, just being a fiance. He only brought you a ring. Yeah, y'all live together, but you know if you're dealing with a man with multiple children for multiple women. And this is a very uncomfortable conversation. Nobody wants to talk about death. Honestly, nobody wants to talk about death. No man and woman wants to sit down and have that conversation. Okay, if I was to pass away today, would the kids be straight? Would the grandkids be straight? Okay, God forbid if something happened to both of us, where our house is going to go to? Who's going to get our house? This is something you really have to think about and you have to take into consideration. But I know DMX's fiance, she was already turned down. So let me tell y'all, imagine what she's going through right now. Imagine what she's going through. It's bad enough she lost DMX, but she's also not going to have no say-so over his estate. Imagine, imagine, ladies, you already lost the man you love in death. You already grieving over his loss, right? You already grieving over his loss. Then on top of that, while you grieving over his loss, you don't have no say-so in his estate. You have no say-so over his property, over his assets. Imagine being in love with a man, he's dead and gone, and you can't do shit about his property. I mean, just imagine that. Only thing she can do is hope his children would be nice, but come on, we're talking about black folks. If the kids do take part, hopefully they be nice and look out for their baby brother that she had, but I doubt she gonna get anything. Now, Tashira, what's up, Link? Tashira, I don't know, because like I said, people are one way when they are grieving. But when it comes to the dollar bill, when it comes to the money, people act different when money involved. Now, Tashira, if her oldest sons end up being administrators, hopefully Tashira might, I'm just hypothetically speaking, because we know the truth of the matter, it's not going down like that. Tashira may be nice enough to say, hey, we just gonna make sure little man straight. But guess what? Tashira can't make DMX sons do anything. Because see, too, it's no telling. Hopefully, DMX fiance was nice to them. Hopefully, she was accepting of them. Hopefully, she didn't mistreat them. See, it's so effed up how this can go, because people pick times like this to want to retaliate. Oh yeah, you was talking trash to my mama. You didn't act. I mean, let's keep it real. Everybody acted so nice and kind to each other during that funeral. But all jokes aside, we're talking about some money. The funeral, I think X might have been gone, a month or two? People got bills to pay. And I told y'all, and I'm going to play my little snippet of my video because I know some people just coming in. I already called it out. I said this was going to happen. I said DMX's baby mamas. I said this was going to happen. I talked about this on my video that I uploaded before DMX passed. I did a video called Deceased Rappers with Multiple Children. I said this was going to happen. So I'm going to just, for those who coming in, I'm going to just let y'all hear the snippet so we can go down memory lane. Because I've been called this out. I told y'all it was going to happen.
Is when there's multiple children that comes out of it. Do you not realize the chaos and the confusion that you're leaving behind? I personally think when DMX's baby mamas get through this grieving, the greed is going to set in. People going to start looking for money now because bills going to have to be paid. Bills going to have to be paid. I don't know what kind of, I don't know with his current fiance, if they had a house together. I'm sure they probably had a house together. They've been together 4 or 5 years. But he was not married to that woman. Ray Janae will get nothing. Yeah, Ray Janae ain't going to get anything because she's an adult. Absolutely. So DMX's older kids that he had from Tashira, we know they're not going to get anything unless he was smart and did a will.
Now I want to backtrack that statement because remember I did this video April 29th, right? So I did my research and come to find out usually when it comes to becoming an administrator of a deceased person's estate, if the man was not married, which DMX was not, if the man wasn't married, it automatically goes to the next relatives in line, which is the children. All right, my sister, thank you for hanging out with me today, hon. I know you've been with me a while, but I'll keep the upload up so you can check out everything else later. But thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. So with the estate, most likely DMX kids are going to be the ones that's going to get out of state. Now, this is where it gets sticky. Like I stated, DMX got 3 sons, which are the ones that are battling for his estate. Now, DMX was married to their mother. Okay? Now, the other baby mama, who has 2 daughters from DMX, but keep in mind, those daughters came about when DMX was married. So, I don't know if the state is going to recognize it and say, you know what? We got to grant primary administrator to DMX's first 3 kids because they was married to the mother. So the state may go that way, or the state may say, married or not married, he did produce these kids. So therefore, these kids do have some entitlement. So I don't know what these outside kids are going to get. That's where I'm lost in the sauce, y'all. That I can't call it. But I called it out when I said, after all this grieving and crying, these women are going to come together and be battling out in court.
He did a will. Okay, so we're going to talk about these 15 kids.
So basically, I broke down the different, all of the kids he had.
Child with Monique Wayne. This occurred during his marriage to Tashira Simmons. So he definitely had multiple children outside his marriage. For some time, DMX seemingly he denied paternity of the child, whose identity is still not widely known. But in 2008, 4 years later, after the youngster's birth, the rapper was ordered to pay Monique $1.5 million. Damn. Wow. He also has 2 children with Yadira Borrego. DMX also shares 2 children with ex-Yadira Borrego. The former couple's son is 11 years old, but their daughter's age is not widely known. During DMX's hospitalization, Yadira has posted a few photos of DMX and his youngsters to her Instagram page. One photo featured DMX on stage with his 2 kids while performing in 2019 in Fort Lauderdale. Minor setback for a major comeback. God got you. So, as you can see, he has 2 children here. This is a whole nother baby mama. What's up, Omega? Yeah, generational mute or dead. Other children, during the appearance on VH1's Couples Therapy in 2012, Tashira and DMX discussed his numerous extramarital affairs over the course of their roughly 15-year marriage. That same year, Tashira spoke with Essence and revealed that DMX had welcomed a number of children out of the wedlock.
So, like I said, this is a very sticky situation because DMX has so many children through the duration of his marriage to Tashira. So Link says, so it was popular to screw him when he was alive. Now it's on point about the realities of sleeping with men whom know he has other women. Shameful. And honestly, I've been preaching this way before DMX situation even came about. And that's the reason why I'm going in about this today. That's why I'm going live about this, because this is the problem with black men and black women in the black community. The black community has become the blaming community. We want to place blame on the opposite sex. It's always black men blaming black women. If it's not black men blaming black women, it's black women blaming black men. And we always want to highlight who is and who isn't taking accountability when really it's both parties. Just because you are a successful man, you are a successful rapper, you are a successful athlete, you are a successful producer, you own several businesses, it does not make it right for you to go around and produce multiple children with multiple women, because successful or not, do you not know successful people die? And this is the chaos you're leaving behind. And I have preached this several times to women that it's not a smart idea to have a child from a man who has multiple children. I said this earlier. It's also not smart to have children from a married man, no matter how successful he is. No matter if you feel like he's so rich, you can secure the bag. The black community has always pointed fingers at the opposite person but themselves. If it ain't the black man, it's the white man. If it ain't the white man, it's the black women. If it ain't the black women, it's the black man. We always looking for someone to hold someone else accountable for where we fall short. Let me tell you something. As a black man and as a black woman, if you learn to hold yourself accountable, guess what? You won't even get yourself in these type of situations to begin with. If you are a black man or a black woman with pride, integrity, and respect, and you're not trying to get yourself in a situation in which is going to be chaotic, you're not going to get involved in the first place to have to take accountability. Because the first thing I'm thinking, if I'm sexually going to get involved with a man, the first thing I'm thinking about is my future. Before I go to bed with a man, I need, especially unprotected, with no contraceptive, with no birth control, and I'm willing to consent as an adult to have an unprotected sex with a man who has multiple children, that already says there's something wrong with me. Bottom line, before I even get pregnant, just the fact that I'm willing to lay up with a man that has multiple children, any woman in her right mind, if you decide to have unprotected sex with a man that has multiple children, what does that say how you value yourself as a woman? Bad enough you sleeping with him, that's one thing, but you're willing to put your future in jeopardy to where you're going to have a child from him, knowing that whatever you need from your child is going to have to be split up 8-9 ways with the other baby mamas. And that's where we fall short. You see, if a man has multiple children for multiple women, that's already a red flag that he's irresponsible. No different. As a man, if you're going to lay with a woman who has multiple children for multiple baby daddies, that already lets you know she's irresponsible. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. You don't have to be a genius to figure this shit out. Anytime you get ready to lay with somebody, you know they fertile as hell. You know they fertile. You go to this chick's apartment and you want to smash her, and you see little Pookies and Ray Rays all over the goddamn running around like roaches. You think you can't get her pregnant? You think your sperm is so magical you can't get her pregnant? You see, she fertile. Most trifling bitches are fertile, just like most broke Negroes are fertile. People who ain't got nothing is fertile. There's nothing a man can tell me. I don't care how fine he is. I don't care how good looking. You got more than one baby mama. There's nothing you can say to me. Nothing. You wasn't married to this woman. Well, y'all got married and things didn't work out. It took you 4 or 5 kids later to figure out you don't want to be nobody's husband. Why would I want to be with a man that has several children from several women? I got to argue with your baby mamas every week about who gonna pick up little Ray Ray, who gonna pick up little JJ. I don't have to be a genius to know that shit is nothing but another headache in my life. Common sense. And for some of you men, some of y'all so thirsty that a woman is going to lay you for little or nothing, you'll take it anyway. Every offer don't have to be taken just because a woman presents it. 9 times out of 10, if a woman is easy access, if a woman is always giving you an easy access pass, she's always giving you a smash pass. If she that easy, something up with it. Because that has child support has been the poverty bitches hustle for years. That's what they do now. Back then, a woman was okay with you just dating her and getting to know her and having something with her. These females, they ain't looking for that no more. They're not looking for a husband. They just want somebody to secure the bag because it's easy to get somebody. It's easy to be a baby mama before it is easy to be a wife. Being a baby mama, you don't have to prove yourself. Being a wife, you got to prove yourself. You have to prove that you're different from other women in order for a man to qualify you as wife material. A lot of these women know they don't have nothing different to offer, so all they offer is their vagina. So that is the chick that a lot of these women are doing now. It's all about securing the bag. They're not trying to secure a marriage. They're not trying to secure a future. That's what these scheming females do now. Because a lot of them, honestly, they know they are tainted. They know the majority of these men out here who are worth of value aren't going to marry them. So what a lot of these trifling-minded females, these better-minded female incels, they are okay with just getting the bag because they know they can't bag a husband. A lot of them know they can't. A lot of these women, they know their reputation is too bad. They know the lifestyle they live is not something that most men are going to accept. So what a lot of women are doing, they're opting out of marriage and they're going straight to carriage because they already know ain't too many men of value that's going to wife them. And that's why you think Nick Cannon got all of these baby mamas. Evidently, they don't feel worthy to be his wife. Okay, you want to smash me and give me a baby so I can cash the checks. Okay, I'm fine with that. A lot of them know they're not going to be a wife. So what they do is they have a child so they can live the lifestyle of a wife. You have some women who don't want to be wives. They just want to live the lifestyle of being one. They want the cars. They want the houses. But when they start going through certain things, they realize securing the bag, it secures you, but it doesn't secure you the way you really want to be secured. Because it's a difference when you give a man a family, and it's a difference when you give a man a child. I can't stress that more than enough. It's a difference when you give a man a family. And it's a difference when you give a man a child. And a lot of black women, y'all are not understanding it. Y'all have yet to figure out There's a difference when you give a man a child, and there's a difference when you give a man a family. When you give a man a family versus give him a child, that means he's going to be there every step of the way. That child gets sick, he's there. That child get in trouble, he's there. Physically and emotionally and mentally, he's under the same roof with you. You don't have to call him across town and be on some, hey, little Ray sick. When you think you got time, when you get off of work today, you think you come over here. That's a difference when you have a family and you have a child. When you have a child from a man, he can only be there on his time, when he's available, when he's ready. But when y'all have a family, he don't too much have an option. He got to be there. If it means calling in from work that day, or if it means going in and work a little later, hey, I got a situation with my wife. I got a situation with my family. I got to take care of my family. His family is more urgent to him because whatever his family goes through, it affects him because he lives in the same household with his family. When you have a child from a man, you live in way across town, he live on another side of town. He can pick and choose if and when the matter is urgent to him. You could tell him, little JJ sick, little JJ thrown up, but if he's not there visually seeing what that child is going through, he's not going to take it as serious compared to a husband or a man who lives in our household and see that child's well-being. Now, I'm not saying that a man should take it less urgency just because they don't live in the same household, and that he shouldn't be as concerned as a father who lives in the household. But the truth of the matter is, he's not going to take it as serious if y'all are not going through it together. You got to hope and pray that he comes through when shit goes left. That's the price of being a single mom. You got to hope and wait and pray and beg him to be there. In the realistic world, it shouldn't be like that. But guess what? You don't get to choose how the father of your child decides to be there. At the end of the day, y'all can do all these bitter women speeches, but a man is going to be there the way he chooses to be there. It may not be fair to the child, but you take a chance when you have unprotected sex with these men because they get to pick and choose when they want to be there. I heard about the Carmelo Anthony situation. I heard that's kind of going on now. This chick, some Russian chick or whatever, she's coming out the woodwork saying she's having his twins. Now, come to find out, one of the twins are very sickly. She can't handle the pressure because the boy out of the twins is so sickly. She realizing it's expensive, it costs too much, she can't handle it. So now she got to put Carmelo on blast and put out there that, hey, he gave me these twins, so this nigga could be there. Because you got some men who think like this. If they can hide it, they ain't got to be responsible for it. So in his mind, I guess he felt like as long as I'm breaking off some bread, she going to be quiet. But at this point, it done got so bad, she had to put it out there so Carmelo could step up. Exactly, Lynch. So, as I stated, y'all, this is a very, very, very bad predicament for DMX and his family. I really feel for his kids. You know, I feel for his wife, Tashira. Tashira went through a lot of disrespect with DMX, having all of these children outside of their marriage. She went through a lot with it, you know, and his fiance, who had a handsome little boy from him, I might add. But the problem is, this woman ain't going to get nothing. All DMX gave her was a son and his love. But what good is that when you got bills? And like I said, whenever a loved one is deceased, that is when families come together. That's where you're mourning. You're all in grief. You're all in shock. You're trying to get through the pain together. But when the grieving is said and gone and it's over and these bills are piling up, the funeral home reaching out, the mortgage company, the automobiles company, if you still making payments on vehicles, all of these people start reaching out. Now, it ain't about grieve. It's greed. Because now DMX, his children got the battle over his estate, and this should have never been. I mean, God bless his soul, but he left his family here in shambles, y'all. So, I mean, only thing, my heart definitely goes out to DMX's children because they didn't ask to be here. They didn't create this situation, but this is the reality we're in. All these men need to get vasectomies and the women need to keep their legs closed. I agree, Michelle. There's too much going on. People are too loose with their lack of respect for sex. And this is the reason why we got all of these problems. This is why we're going through all of what we're going through. This is the reason why, So it's very unfortunate, but definitely, ladies, just keep in mind, you're getting knocked up from these men that are not your husbands. When these men pass away and something tragically happens, you can't expect these women, these ex-wives, to have sympathy and empathy for you. I know a woman one time, her ex-husband had separated, but they didn't legally get a divorce. And he had moved on with a whole nother woman, got a whole new life. He went on about his business and everything. And what ended up happening was he died because of a medical sickness. He passed. That woman he hadn't been with in almost 10, 15 years. He was too lazy to get a divorce. Let's face it, sometimes black people, we lazy with handling business. He was lazy getting that divorce. He got so comfortable sleeping with the other woman every night, let the other woman move in and all of that. He didn't feel it was necessary to divorce his wife. Well, when he got sick, who you think got everything? Do you think that woman cared to look out for the other woman and say, you know what, you was with him for a long time, I'm going to break you off a little something? Hell no, she took everything. Link says, I will say this. Who's the keepers of the gate? Meaning, what life enters this side? Meaning, like who conceives the children or who decides how life is brought into the world? I'm just trying to make sure I answer your question correctly, because I think that's what you're saying. God originally created sex within the confines of marriage. Yeah, but black people, we don't want to talk about that. Do you realize how many single mothers will get offended by that comment, Miss Nelson? That's really what it boils down to. But you got these high value men preaching, you ain't got to marry nobody. You got these single mothers preaching, oh, I don't have to be nobody's wife long as he take care of his kids. This is the attitude the black community has. We don't respect marriage. Well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. We know it's women who produce life. But let me tell you men something, because I know a lot of this is being promoted all over YouTube, especially in the black sector. And I've said it myself. I will still say it. I will always hold the woman more accountable at the end of the day when it comes to the conception of a child. That woman decides who breeds that child, who she breeds that child from. I will always hold the woman more accountable. But let me tell you guys something. Let me tell you men something. Let me tell y'all something. The reason why y'all don't need to be worried about that is because, do y'all think the courts really give a damn if the woman should be more accountable, who's around here paying the child support? Who's paying child support? Y'all. So even though I agree these women need to hold themselves accountable, but guess what? The court systems, what's up, Ishmael? What's up? The court systems ain't making these women be held accountable. They giving them child support. So we can preach that speech all day that black women need to be held accountable, but guess what? The system not going to do that. I think they should. I've preached on every video that black women need to hold themselves to a higher standard. But guess what? That is why most of them don't, because the system enables it. I can raw dog. I can let 6 different dudes smash me and get me pregnant. And I go apply for child support. Child support not going to ask me no questions. Child support not going to ask me, well, how many dudes was you letting raw dog you? How many times you went unprotected? Child support, the system does not make women answer to their reckless behavior. It makes you men answer whether y'all want to or not. So we don't have time. I have preached that, but we can preach the black women need to be more accountable all day, but they ain't the ones paying the child support. They should, but the system does not stress that the way they stress men paying for child support. Yeah, and I agree with that, Link. Like Link says, God originally created sex within the confines of marriage. True, however, in our society, we've allowed free screwing around the school. Bad bitches making rain types of women who never grew up. Absolutely. The black community is paying for the price of lust. You going after something because it looks good. You're going after something because it's convenient. You're going after something because it's easy. The black community has never taken sex seriously. The black community has lost so much respect for sex. Everybody is smashing everybody. Everybody is raw dogging everybody. The child support courts wouldn't be so flooded if the black community learned to educate themselves on sex and did not use sex as a weapon or didn't misuse the pleasure of it. If we want to go biblical, I don't have a problem going biblical, but I tell you one thing, biblically, that means I'm going to be stepping on some toes, because if we want to go biblically speaking, no married men, unless you're a married man, you really shouldn't be fucking nobody. Unless you're a married woman, you really shouldn't be having sex with nobody. Let's get down to the root of the problem. Damn what these dating coaches and everybody is promoting on YouTube, that you could just smash. A single mama is only good for sex. Or a rich man, successful man is only good for sex. That same attitude is the reason why a lot of y'all are bitter. And it's the reason why a lot of y'all are miserable right now. Because that egotistical attitude of feeling like black men ain't shit, but I'ma fuck them to get money off of them, or black women is garbage, but I'ma fuck money to get myself off. That same attitude has costed us a peace of mind, has costed us financially. It's men around here paying for kids that they don't even want because they didn't even love the mother when he fucked and had the child. You got women around here hating all black men because she thinks it's okay to go around here and smash dudes who she feel like she could benefit from, and then after she done smashed the dude, only to find out she's not going to get half of the benefit she thought she was going to get. Now she hates all black men. This is the lost generation of the black community. I did what I wanted to do because it felt good to me, but because the consequences outweighed the benefits. Now I'm gonna go around here speaking bad on black men, speaking bad on black women, all because I lack the spiritual discernment to keep my penis in my pants, or to not pull down my panties for the first guy I felt like I could secure the bag with. Yes, this generation, it doesn't take marriage seriously. And this is the reason we have the problems we have. This is the reason why you got 5, 6 kids growing up in the same household, but all of them got different last names. This is the reason why you got different daddies in and out the house visiting their children, because they all don't have the same father. Yeah, Link says, now I'm not saying that women needs to seriously think about what sperms inside them, because they're the incubators of life. Yes, men have a role in and whom they should practice better mating values. Let me tell you something, Link. If I had a penny in my pocket for every time I preach that narrative, my channel will probably have over 1 million subscribers. I have preached that over and over and over, letting women understand that we are the receivers of life. We are the receivers. So what women have to understand is, being that we are the receivers, I will speak on this again, because I've spoken on this several times, but I'll bring it up again. I've said this to women. I've said we are the receivers of life. So whenever we are sexually intimate with the man, when the man is climaxing inside of our vaginal area, when a man is climaxing inside of us, not only does he deposit his sperm, but he also deposits his spirit. So anything that is spiritually contaminated within that man is going to be inserted into us, not just physically, but spiritually. Because not only do we receive a man's semen, not only do we receive his sperm, but we receive his spirit. Okay. And another thing that women got to realize, whenever a man comes inside of you, his fluid will linger in your body for almost up to a week, maybe 3 to 4 days roughly. So meaning even if that dude just smashed you one time and y'all never had a relationship or no type of connection, his bodily fluid is still resting inside of your vagina. So a lot of women not understanding, but it takes a couple of days before a man's fluid is released from your body. But his spirit connects with you forever. And that is when we build what's called soul ties. Because whether y'all want to believe it or not, y'all just, and I hate the fact that the black community is so loose with sex. We want to call it smashing. We want to give it all these generic words. She just smashing, or she just, we just having sex, or we just screwing around. We like to make light of sex, but you have to realize sex is a spiritual connection. That's why really it's designed for married people. So all of these dating coaches that's telling you to smash these women, or these women are telling you, hey, you can smash a man and not have any feelings for him, it has nothing to do with that. Sex is a spiritual union that is really for design for husband and wife. Because even the Bible tells you, when two have sexually connected, they two become as of one, meaning you become one union. You become one whole person together. If people understood the power of sex, if people understood the real power behind it, people would not just be laying with any and everybody. If they understood how powerful sex was. And that's the problem. There's a lot of power in sex. That's why you have a lot of kids that get conceived and they come here with a lot of dysfunction, because they was not conceived out of love. They was conceived out of lust. You have children that a lot of fathers cannot connect with because he didn't have a connection with the mother. The mother didn't have a connection with the father. A lot of children are being produced and conceived basically through lust. The question is, how do we turn this around? Or is it too late? At this point, I think it's definitely too late. I think the only thing people can do, you have to take self accountability. It's called individual awareness, because the truth of the matter is, it doesn't matter. Even as a content creator, I could preach this all day. You're gonna have these ignorant minded individuals black men and black women who really don't feel like they're wrong with how they conduct themselves sexually. You're still going to have black men that's going to sit here and blame black women. In the back of his arrogant mind, he feels like, well, that's the woman's fault. It's her priority to protect her body. I ain't got to protect myself. That's her business. And men who think like this, 9 times out of 10, end up having children from women they can't stand or don't want no parts of. Or you have women that think like this. Hey, if he don't want to wear no protection and he decided to get me pregnant, then that's fine. I'm going to just secure the bag. I'm going to just get child support. And she does all that only to find out that she goes through child support. She doesn't get the money she thought she was going to get. Not only that, because she did not have that child from a man who really cared for her, he's not going to give that child the same amount of attention that that child truly deserves. And then the truth is, you have a lot of men around here who are neglecting their children. And even though in a perfect world, I hear these black female content creators all the time preach about how black men don't take care of their kids, black men are deadbeats, black men, they don't do this, they don't do that. I hear it all the time. But the truth of the matter is, when we get down to the stack of potatoes, if a man does not care about you, 9 times out of 10, he's not going to care about the child he had from you. What's up according to MJ? We can sit up here and preach these narratives day in and day out that black men need to be more active in their child's life and black men need to be more responsible. But that go both ways, boo, especially for the woman, because women, when we have the child, we're the ones that's stuck with the majority of responsibility. A man can get tired. A man can say, I don't want to deal with this today. I don't want to be responsible. A man has every right to walk away. This is the reason why I hold women more accountable. And the reason I do that, and I know a lot of these single baby mamas, they feel some type of way when I say I hold the women more accountable. The reason I hold women more accountable is because the women, we're the ones who get stuck holding the bag. When a woman could get tired, women, no matter how tired we get of our kids, no matter how exhausted and frustrated, we are still stuck with that child. A man, on the other hand, if he's tired, if he don't want to see little JJ today, he don't want to pick up little JJ, a man could be tired and he could put his responsibilities on hold. Not saying it's right, not saying it's cool, but let's face it, it's not about what's right or what's wrong anymore. It's about being aware of the shit you possibly signing up for when you make these type of decisions. So in the perfect world, I hear all these female content creators calling black men deadbeats, calling them failures. But as a woman, you put yourself in a position to be with a deadbeat. You put yourself in a position to have a failure of a father because you was going by how the nigga look. You was going by how much money he got. You was looking on how you could secure the bag. And now that you done had this child, that fine looking nigga, he don't look so fine no more. This man who is making you come and making you shake with one leg, now you wish you could shake this Negro out your life because he's been nothing but dead weight. He won't call you to see if you need anything. He won't call and check on the child because really, you got to realize you can't start off doing shit wrong and then you think it's going to end up right. As a woman, when you up here having kids from a man that's not your man, y'all not in a relationship, y'all don't have a real union together. Now you think this man gonna step up as a father. He wasn't even your man. He wasn't even your boyfriend. He wasn't even your fiance. A lot of women is letting dudes smash that ain't even a man like that. And then you want these men all of a sudden, because y'all have a child, you want him to step up and be a man, but he wasn't your man to begin with. Y'all wasn't together like that. It's a lot of babies and children that are being produced through ratchet rendezvous and through one night stands. And these women think they can make these men all of a sudden want to step up and be a better man. But was he your man to begin with? Now, it's different if y'all sat down and had a conversation and y'all agreed to have a child and he reneged and he didn't fall through, but if you know you and this guy just had a smash and passing type of situation going on, you can't look for him to step up and be the stand-up man, because he really wasn't your man to begin with. And a child is not going to change that. And black women, we do it to ourselves all the time. A man is already showing you his true colors before y'all even have a child together. He always showing you he's not reliable. When you tell him to come by, he don't come by when he's supposed to. He don't even call and check on you as a girlfriend. He hasn't even shown his care for you just being his girlfriend. But you think now, because y'all have a child together, all of a sudden he's supposed to be a step-up man and a newfound man and want to better himself for you and the child. A child is not going to change a man. I cannot understand for the life of me why women have not figured it out yet. You know what makes a man change? The love he has for a woman, not because that woman had his child. A man really sincerely has to love a woman to get to that place in his life when he's willing to cut out the bullshit and be a real man, be a real father, get a job, commit to you, be a leader of the household till he gets to that point. You selling yourself short. But see, women, what we do is we tell one side of the story. We will sit up here and play victim and call a baby daddy a deadbeat and say he's lame and say he doesn't do this and doesn't do that. But you're leaving out the other part of the equation when you knew this man was not good to you just being his girlfriend. He will always make you a lot of empty promises. See, but a lot of women leave out that side of the story. He's a deadbeat. He's a lame. He ain't no real father. Well, was he a real boyfriend? Half of y'all can't even answer that question, because the truth is he wasn't even your boyfriend before he was your baby daddy. A lot of black women not going to admit to that shit. A lot of them, y'all call them men deadbeats, but if you really get the truth out of these women, you'll find out, and it's not right that these men are deadbeats. And I'm not saying it's cool, but truth is, some of these women who keep getting knocked up by these dudes, these men wasn't even with them. That's the sad part. But these women, they ain't gonna tell that version. Women ain't gonna say, well, it's not too many women that's gonna say, well, I was a one-night stand. Well, I was letting him smash even though I knew he was married. Well, I kept giving him some, thinking if I was giving him some, he eventually would be my man. See, that's a part of the story a lot of women gonna leave out. They're just gonna go straight for, oh, he's a deadbeat. They're gonna zoom in. They're gonna pull that same card every time. But they not gonna tell the whole version. I know, because I got girlfriends. I got girlfriends who will sit up here and boo-hoo and cry to me about how they baby daddy no good, but I know how you got them. You was letting this dude smash you every night, sis, and y'all wasn't even together. He wouldn't even take you out in public. He would never even take you out to eat half of the time. You was letting him come over there and smash and make these late night phone calls, these booty calls. Come out at 3, 4 in the morning. Now that you pregnant, you mad because he not stepping up. Well, he wasn't even a good boyfriend. Michelle says, I know a woman who stepped up with a man for 15 years. No, who stayed with the man for 15 years, playhouse, had 2 children, and decided to file for child support when they broke up and still did not get any support. Married someone else. That is the gamble you take. That is the gamble you take. I cannot stress this more than enough. Black people, please take accountability for your actions. Again, stop having children from people who got multiple children. Ladies, stop trying to secure the bag, because it could backfire. You could end up getting a child from a better male that's broke, ain't got no money like you thought. Or his first wife, if he didn't do a divorce, he didn't officialize anything, she could end up with everything. It's a mess. But y'all, you know I'm going to keep up with this DMX story. I'm going to find out, and you know I'm going to upload once I find out who's going to be the administrator of his estate. But I could be wrong, but I have a feeling his sons are going to get it. I think his sons are going to get it because they were married to the mother. That's the one thing the lawyer could probably use that and state that, hey, They was married to me. You know, they was married. They were, they was married to their mother at the time when it was conceived. Now these outside children, they may get a little something because the state don't like taking care of kids. So the state gonna make sure they get a little something, but it's not gonna be a lot. Honestly speaking, I really think DMX's oldest sons should get the estate. That's my opinion. Because in my opinion, I feel like Tashira was the one who went through the most with him. I feel like his oldest sons, his oldest children, they experienced most of DMX's demise. They went through seeing their father take their mom through a lot. They witnessed how their father changed once he became a heavy drug addict. And this is not to discredit him, because we all got demons in our closet. So, I'm not trying to discredit DMX, but I really feel like his oldest boys should be the guardians of his estate. Not his baby mamas. I already know his ex-wife, Tashira, because they already been divorced for some time. We already know his fiance, she not going to get anything. So I'm really hoping his oldest sons, I really hope they get it. So, I'm going to keep up with the story, y'all. I'm going to let y'all know the outcome of this. We're going to keep up with this situation with DMX's and his estate. I don't know. Before I shut it down, do y'all think, press 1 if y'all think DMX's oldest sons should get the estate, or press 2 if you think all of his kids should get a estate. Because I meant to ask y'all opinion instead of me just giving my opinion. Do y'all think DMX's oldest sons should become the administrator of his estate, or should the judge split it up amongst all of them? Or a better question, who do y'all think is going to end up getting the estate? I know it's a rough question. Put it this way, because it's not about how we feel. Who y'all think the judge is going to rule? I think that's a better question. Who do y'all think the judge is going to give DMX's oldest sons the estate? I think they will. I think they're going to end up getting it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave this video up for those of you who wasn't in the live. I'm gonna leave this video up so y'all can leave a comment. Let me know who y'all think is going to get it. Who y'all think, how y'all think that's going to work out. Leave y'all comments below. But y'all, I'm gonna get ready to shut it down because I've been on here for a while. People blowing up my phone like it's an emergency. So anyway, y'all, it is your girl, your diva and knowledge, Lady Mocha. Remember, I'm gonna always pour you up, break you off a slice of knowledge and pour you with a cup of truth. So please leave y'all comments below. Please make sure y'all hit that like button before y'all leave. And again, if you don't catch the rest of this live stream, I'm going to leave it up, y'all. So I'll holler at y'all later. Take care. I appreciate all the support. Y'all have a blessed one.